Hey, we're cooking today because you know what? It's Thursday and we're going through Mom's cookbook. So today is Lorraine's famous potato salad. We're making a half batch because it's a lot of potato salad. This was like one of her go to potluck items. So 10 potatoes, 4 sticks of celery chopped. Mom had originally written stalks, but Dad corrected it to sticks. 3 sweet pickles chopped, 3 or 4 dill pickles chopped, and it depends on your taste. If you like your potato salad a little bit more on the sour side, then you would use more dill pickles. If you want things a little on the sweeter side, you would use more sweet pickles. I got a balance. I got a little bit of both. 8 or 9 hard-boiled eggs. Mom liked a lot of eggs in her potato salad. 1 small onion chopped, mayonnaise, regular mustard, seasoned salt, garlic salt, and pepper. Rinse the potatoes, put in a pot, cover with water, and boil till done. Should not be cooked till mushy. Cool and peel spuds. We'll get into that in a minute. Cut into cubes approximately a ½ inch square or larger. Mom had originally said 1-inch square. Dad corrected it to ½ inch square. Put into a large bowl, add celery, onions, pickles, and eggs. Toss, then add garlic salt, seasoned salt, and pepper to taste. Mix well. Then add about a ½ cup of mayonnaise and 1 level tablespoon of mustard, and mix until potatoes are well coated and mayo and mustard mix. Then have Penny or Dad taste it and see if it's okay. If it isn't, fix it. You might need more mayo or mustard. I keep adding these 2 ingredients in small amounts till I get the salad the way I want it. Now, the reason that Mom has in there have Penny or Dad taste it is because Mom didn't like her potato salad. So, I get it. I totally get it. Now, when it comes to peeling potatoes, Mom would use russets. And russets, you're going to need to peel. But I prefer to use golden, which is a waxy potato, and it just gives it a little texture. So I like to use a waxy potato when I make my potato salads. So, it's really up to you. You do you, boo. In my opinion, this is a great recipe for using up all of those miscellaneous pickle jars that you have in the back of the fridge that, need to go somewhere. And I dropped Mom's recipe. Well done. Okay, so let's see what we got. So we've got our big bowl, and we've got the boiled, cooled potatoes in the big bowl. And, you just chop them up. It's really up to you how you want to chop them up. So like, Dad said ½ inch pieces, Mom said 1-inch pieces. It's up to you. If you want a big chunky potato salad, then chop it big. If you want a little potato salad, then you chop it fine. Really up to you. Like I said, your kitchen, your rules. Nobody tells you what to do in your kitchen. So, anyways, I'm doing about a ½ inch dice. And I have everything else pretty well diced up. Now, the thing that's interesting is on the pickle department, I kind of lost my infatuation with sweet pickles a while back, and I discovered something called bread and butter pickles. And I really like bread and butter pickles, so I tend to have those in my fridge versus sweet pickles. So in this particular case, we're using bread and butter because I don't have them, and I don't have sweet pickles. I have bread and butter. And then for the dill one, Mom tend to use like Vlasic, the big huge dills, and I don't have those either. But I have like some cocktail gherkins that I got, and I chopped those up. And but you see, it's my kitchen, my rules. So I do what I want, and what I want is I want to use up the pickles in my fridge. So anyways, we're on potato number 4. For those of you who saw the sneak peek earlier of what Penny happens to be doing in her kitchen right now, What I've got going in the oven, and you can see it's a 300-degree oven, it's a low and slow, is what I call my famous beer carnitas, or my beer garlic pork. Basically what I do, and it's a real simple recipe, it's another one of Penny's recipes that, like, oh my god, can I handle it? Yes, you can. What it is I take pork, whatever you got, you know, usually, you know, this is pork for carnitas. That's what the package comes in. It's a couple of pounds. And what I do is I break up a whole head of garlic, and I put the pork in a a baking pan, and I break up all of the garlic, throw it in the pan, and put a half a bottle of beer. And I cover it up with aluminum foil, and I put it in a 300-degree oven for at least a few hours. And that's until the point where the meat gets to the point where you can shred it with a couple of forks, which is kind of at the point that we're at right now. I just pulled it out. I took the aluminum foil off. I added a little more beer because it was getting a little dry, and I have it in there with the meat all shredded, turning into yummy carnita, quick and dirty pork. So yeah, that's a fun recipe. So we're almost done cutting up these potatoes, and I basically kind of went through my fridge and just pulled out a bunch of things that go in potato salad, depending on where you're at, because you know there's people in this world who think that mayonnaise and that mustard doesn't belong in a potato salad, and there's people in this world that believe that eggs don't belong in a potato salad. But you know what? They both belong in a potato salad. Never cut into your hand. This is how my mom did it. So, you know, if I start spurting blood all over the place, you know, then you kind of know that, you know, that's frowned upon. But, you know, so, okay, fine. You know, just cut it on the board. And interesting, when it comes to hard boiling eggs, everybody has their own opinions of what makes a perfect, easily peelable, hard-boiled egg. You know, and I Googled it because I thought to myself, you know, sometimes my eggs peel real good, sometimes my eggs don't. So according to the Pioneer Woman, the trick is starting with hot water. I always started with cold, and you cook them for, you bring them to a boil, you cook them for 12 minutes, and you cook them for 12 minutes, and then you rinse them in cold water, and then you put ice on them to stop the cooking process. And then you end up with perfect hard-boiled eggs. Okay. So, okay, so Mom says, rinse the potatoes, put in the pot, blah, 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 put into a large bowl, add celeries, onions, and pickles. So here's my onions. I had some white onions, and I had some red onions. So I chopped them all up. Those go in the bowl. And she says the pickles. So here's those little tiny gherkins I was telling you about. So those go in there. And then the these are the bread and butter pickles. So they're a little sweet, not too sweet. Now, if you want, you can throw in a little sweet pickle relish. But you know, I think we're kind of in a good pickly place. So, and then there's my celery. So she says, give all that a stir. So we're going to give it a stir. And that kind of gives everybody an opportunity to play nice, hang out in the bowl. So this is what we're looking like so far. Kind of looks like a potato salad. Be right back. So, now in this particular recipe, it is always best to use good old-fashioned ingredients, because this is a good old-fashioned recipe. So when you're doing mayo, just do good old-fashioned mayo. It says mayo, don't use salad dressing, don't use any of that. It says about a quarter of a cup. So I eyeball it. Yeah, that's about right. And so, you know, as lovely as Kewpie mayo is, and one of the go-to mayonnaises that I have in my house, this is a recipe that just calls for good old-fashioned, you know. And then she said mustard. So this isn't where you pull out your Grey Poupon. This is not where you pull out your grainy mustard. This is just mustard. So that's what we got. We got a good dollop of mayonnaise and a good dollop of mustard. And you just stir that up until everybody's got a little bit of coating going on. I remember one of Mom's techniques is she'd do this smoothing thing after everything was mixed, you know, just to show that it was, I don't know, make it pretty? I don't know, you know. But anywho, so that's what you want. You don't want it gloppy. You don't want it super saturated with mayonnaise and mustard. You want everything kind of chopped up and together and hanging out and not trying to escape your bowl. And so then she says, mix well, then add about half a cup of mayonnaise, a level tablespoon of mustard. We got that. Mix that potatoes are well coated and mayo and mustard mixed. Then have Penny or Dad taste it. So for the spices, add the garlic salt, seasoned salt, pepper, and taste. Okay, so garlic salt, I love this, you know, fresh grater kind, but Mom used to use like the big old, you know, the big kind of look like this style of garlic salt, and that was like the go-to. But I just like the taste of this particular garlic salt blend because it's got some herbies in it too that make it just a little bit fancier. And then I like to add a little extra garlic powder just to up that garlic, because you know, you can never go wrong with garlic. And then with seasoned salt, of course, you know, good old seasoned salt. So you put a little seasoned salt in there, but because we're in the South, we throw a little Cajun seasoning on it too. Gives a little more kick, makes it a little bit more fun, and I just like the flavor of the stuff. And you know, my kitchen, my rules. So you just give it a stir. Okay, the apple butter is smelling really, really super good. So as I stir, I will entertain you with the apple butter interlude. So what's going on with the apple butter is I had some Granny Smith apples that were kind of tired. And so I wanted to use them up before they got rotten or anything. So what I did was, peel them and chop them chunky. Throw them in the Instapot, because remember, the Instapot has a crock pot feature, and this is definitely a crock pot recipe, the apple butter recipe. And then I threw in my favorite fall spices. So I ground some cloves, I threw those in there. I threw some cinnamon in there. I threw some allspice in there. And for the moisture, I used the juice from about 5 mandarin oranges. I don't have any oranges in the house, but I have mandarins, so I used mandarins, threw that in there, threw in a couple of the peels off of the mandarins to just up that citrus flavor, and then plus the citrus helps it have a slightly prettier color. And for the brown sugar content, I used to use Pinocchio, the, you know, the little cone Mexican, and I found it was a little too sweet, and then I discovered this stuff. It's called brown candy, and it's Asian brown sugar, and so I guess you could call it light brown sugar, but it comes in like these little tubey things, and one of those for a batch this size, perfect. So we're going to add a little bit of pepper, because, you know, the world is amazing with salt and pepper. So, we're still going. So that's going, the pork's going, and this is just about as done as it's going to get. So let's see what we got going. So, you know, remember, I'm Penny, so I get to taste this and tell you whether or not it's right. So, stir. Hey, watch this spoon. So let me see what we got going here. So I can tell already it's probably going to need a little more mayonnaise. Okay. It needs a touch more sweetness. So I'm going to add a little sweet pickle relish. Salt's a little high. Like I said, touch more mayonnaise. And I think we now officially have potato salad. So, let me try this one more time. Yum, 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 yum. Now, if you want, this is like my new best friend. This is sweet hot jalapenos. Adds just a little kick. That's a little boost. But like I said, it's your kitchen. You do you, boo. So, anyways, that's it. That's Mom's potato salad. We're gonna put the little lid on, stick it in the fridge. Papa's got something to eat when he gets home. He's got the pork. Do you want to see the pork? Okay, let me grab the pork. Yeah, baby, check this out. So, there you go. That's the pork. As you can see, it's all golden brown and delicious. And you just stir that all up, and boom, that stuff is ready. So, oven off. So, anyways, now that I can see that the steam has cleared, anyways, so that's it for today. Mom's famous potato salad. I hope you liked this recipe and learned a thing or two about, you know, your hard-boiled eggs and potatoes and, you know, Creole seasoning and pickles. But anyway, so that's it for today. Don't forget, I do love you. I love you a lot. Don't forget. Ta-ta for now.